Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Brightwing. I'm a multi-genre bass music producer. I'm in Miami, Florida, and represent a group called American Grime. I've had the pleasure of getting hit up by MNTRA, who have this new product called El Jaguar, and it's based off the Pico Sound Systems, which is a group of people in the Caribbean and South America that influence sound system culture with the native roots and their style of music. And me being a Latin person as well, coming from Nicaragua, is really a nice blessing to be able to showcase what I do with my music and how this has influenced my music as well, and the instruments that are involved in this new product. And yeah, I would love to showcase and show you guys what I do with it and the process of using it and how intuitive it is. So let's get it cracking open. Okay, so we're here in Ableton, and it's going to start this from scratch so I can show you a little improvisation kind of thing. We're going to start off with the lead. I was messing around with a bunch of the presets here, and the one that I really like was this electric tipple, which kind of sounds like a plucked guitar. So it has a very, I guess, I don't know how to say it for you. I guess, very folky, kind of acoustic nylon. You can kind of hear it. So we're going to be making this at 140, which is normally around like the dubstep BPM. So yeah, let's get crack into it, and then see how quick I can make a beat with this, and I can show you guys how just straight out of the box how great this tool is. And yeah, so let's get a little click track real quick, hit record. So let's see what we do, right? Okay, so we have a nice little loop there. We got, let's see, a nice little 8-bar loop. I'm gonna quantize it so we get it on beat, and then bring all the values up to kind of bring the strength up for the notes. Okay, we got a little rhythm there going on. Let's bring up performance here. So what you could do here with the way MNTRA set up with mandala. So mandala is going to be the sampler. Think of mandala like any other sampler, like Contact from Native Instruments. This is going to be the hub where all your instruments are going to be from MNTRA. And you have three parameters. You have X, Y, and Z, right? You could kind of hear effects, kind of like where you want it to be, filter it out. Ether would be, I guess, like adding more of like a delay, kind of like far back kind of sound, like room mics. So I want it to be a little prominent, so we take the filter off, take the ether off. So we have this as a starting point, right? So what I'm going to do is actually going to duplicate the sampler, and then I'm going to get some percussive elements into this. It was La Colina that I liked because it has kind of like a native drum kit in it. There we go. We got it. So we're going to make a simple, I guess, drum beat pattern. Got a clap, kind of clav in there, the snare. I like this sound a lot because very tiny sound. And get a hi-hat here. Could do little shuffles, some toms, another hi-hat. So let's look for the kick and the snare, right? So we have it on C and D, right? So we're gonna go over here, and then just write them in. So dubstep, right? You want to have it on the 1 and the 3. So make a simple. Let's kind of move this so you can see where beats are. So this is a 1-bar loop. And then I'll show you kind of how I like to make my drums and how I like to program them. Bring it down there, okay, and then we're gonna fold that so you can just see them too. And then you could hear, alright, we got something clicking right now, right? So bring up the values again, get a little bit more. So the way I kind of go about making beats, right? That's a simple 1-bar loop. What I do is, make it 8 bars, and then do a copy and paste of the 1 bar, and then go ahead and just like copy and paste it over. I like taking the snare off at the end to kind of give it space, and then just add in values of different kicks to kind of give it some movement, right? Just kind of like write them in randomly and see what we got with. And um, just kind of put a delayed one here. And then I like adding also like another snare before the last. Or actually, you know what? Let's just go back and put that snare at the end and double it up, so I can have a clap at the end. Kind of go with that. Bring out the values. Bring up this kick right here. I like bringing this out. And then you also want to extend the values of the notes, because it kind of gives it the full force of what the sample is, where it is with the kick, so it's not kind of cut out too much from the transients. That way, you get a full kind of thick kind of sound. We're going to go ahead and just extend these values real quick. All right, and then let's kind of hear it all together, Ooh, that little kick shuffle right there. Yeah. Okay, so now to here, so we're gonna add some hi-hats. Let's look for the hi-hat. Go ahead and find where the hi-hat is. It's going to be on F sharp. Bring it up, and then just kind of write them in, and do quarter notes. Right. I like making trappy hats, or as I like to call them, the sprinklers. Sounds like somebody left their sprinklers on. Well, let's hear it first so you can see what the quarter note sounds like. I'm like 8th notes. Right, so we want to cut away, kind of give it a rhythmic kind of things going on. And just cut, delete. That's going. See, when then you get those little empty spaces, you want to fill in with other kind of sounds within the drum kit, and this is how you could just build your beat, right? And this is just strictly improvising, off the dome type thing, just plug and play type thing, right? And MNTRA has a lot of great other VSTs, but Jaguar just really kind of has the sauce that I'm looking for, especially in the music that I like to make. All right, let's kind of hear how this goes. Right. So we got a nice little beat going on. Let's look for a bass sound. So I'm gonna go ahead. And then let's look for a bass sound. So for the bass sound, I actually made a patch. I'll be sharing that with you guys. But eventually make a little pack that I can send out to you guys in the community. Just to kind of showcase just the capabilities of all the sounds that you could create within the sampler. But for now, we're just going to use a little quick one that I really liked a lot. Where is it at? It was It was under the leads, I think. Nope. Elements. It was in the elements. Okay, the modular. Yep. Okay, so modular long, the one that I used to make a synth patch out of it. So I guess I'll show you how I kind of made it. But so you can see within the matrix here, this is where you could start messing around with your X, Y, and Z parameters. You could, you know, adjust them to how you like and how you want to incorporate things. You see within the sampler, there's different instances. You have 1 and 3 activated. And then with the sequencer, we're not going to mess with that one yet. I got something to show you guys with that. But within here with the global effects, this is where all your parameters are set up. So this is right here, as you can see, it's like this would be your X, Y, and Z's, right? And then in Ableton, since I have the APC 40, I have it set up over here. You can kind of see the movements, right, of how it looks. So that's going to be your Z, the way it looks. That's a circle. Triangle is going to be your Y, and then X is going to be the equal looking sign. Right, so let's kind of make a bass line based out of this melody we got going on. So we're pretty much in C. So let's see what we could mess around here. Here and then, all right, we got a nice little 8-bar loop. Let's go ahead and quantize that again. So MIDI's a little off. Command A, shift it over. We got them sitting correct here. All right, and then you just want to listen to it. One part is in the samplers, as you can add some colors to it, right? So let's go ahead and mess around with this. I like from here adding saturation on the bass, you know, kind of bring out some harmonic distortion. Ones I kind of liked from here was between the cubic distortion and clean amp. Those were kind of fun. The fuzzy one's pretty nice too, because I like the fuzz pedals. Kind of like the big muff pies for all your guitar players out there. We're gonna go with the cubic distortion and then see how it sounds. Right? And then you can change the parameters here. So the drive. global effects, this is where it gets kind of fun too. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this up, right? And come here, and I'm gonna change this one to add another human distortion. And see how I have it full here, parameter, the drive. There you go. A nice Pico sound. You see the modulation in there. So what's fun about this, you can actually add an LFO modulator to this and really mess around with it. You can assign these, as you can see up top here in the macros. So for the frequency, we can add it here. And you'll Yep, so that's pretty much a lot of the way that it likes to work with this. There's a bunch of other instruments that are nice in here. One of them, since it's from my native country, from Nicaragua, that you have the marimbas, which technically they're like wooden xylophones. Um, and it's a nice little touch. This is where I'll show you guys the sequencer aspect of it. The sequencer is pretty interesting. Um, Took me a little bit to kind of get my work around with it, but once I really just started messing with it, it's very intuitive. And let's go to percussion. And where they at? Where they at? Here we go. The marimbas, calypso kind of style. They're really, really nice sounding too. Right. So this is just off rip. Let's go to the perform and start adding. Right, and then you have the spread. So we can add a nice little depth of layer in what we're creating here, since we are in a key of C minor. Do a little bit of intervals there. Just record that. Messed up. And don't forget to have fun doing this, because this is a part of the creative process, is doing a lot of trial and error. It takes time to really find what you want, and just don't feel rushed. Just enjoy the process. There's a lot of stuff to learn sometimes, and I know it gets very tedious, and sometimes you want to give up, but you don't want to give up, because music is a form of expression. It's art. It's something that we need more of. And thankfully, we have these people creating instruments that can help us bring out these elements of our thoughts and forms of expression. Cool. So we got nice little hits with the marimbas. They're a little off here. Just fix them. Quantizing. Okay. Bring it up, and then we'll show you the fun part with the sequencer. This too, you could just change around with the random button, which is a great add to this, because sometimes computers could be very fidgety, or like when you're trying to type into values or like trying to get it correctly. Um, and this just allows you to just create and not losing the workflow and getting stuck in twisting knobs and everything. Scrap everything, just refresh, and bring it back to 0. What we could do too is extend the value of the notes of the MIDI. As you can see, we do here. Okay, we're cooking. I just want to give a big shout out to the whole MNTRA team and Brian Oliveira for giving me the opportunity to do this stuff for you guys and showcase it. This has been a really nice little treat. I've been using their program since they first had Mandala 1, and great instruments overall. I have nothing negative to say about them. They're just amazing humans creating art for all of us to use and express. But let's get back into this. Okay. Ooh, so what we could do is copy and paste the drums. Is it this one? No. I think it's this one, yeah. So let's just rename these actually so we could keep track. Drum kit. This will be... Always want to keep track of what you're doing and renaming things so you don't get lost. Sometimes you end up deleting things and you're like, oh man, I wish I never did that. But so is the undo button. So we're going to copy this MIDI, right, and paste it here. And let's take a listen of it by itself. Yeah. See, now we have another layer of the drums. So now with this, you can just really get expressive and just really have a really performative piece, and start doing your looping and start building ideas, and just don't forget to hit the record button. Sometimes it happens to me, but as you can see here, now we have this. Start with that, and so it's a nice little in-depth look of how El Jaguar is capable of keeping your workflow going, and just some really cool sounds in here, and just crack away out of it. It's something that it's fun to use. I love how expressive, especially the animations that it has. It's so sick. There's Aside from El Jaguar, I think my favorite one that they have is the ultrasonic death whistle, which in itself has a super cool name, but super cool sounds. Yeah, this is Brightwing showing you guys how to do this stuff, and I'll be showcasing you guys another segment of how you could use this in other elements of using in different styles of music. All right, so we're back with this, and I created a patch for El Jaguar, just messing around with the global effects and within the sampler. Um, the really neat thing about it, like I wanted to get a little bit more gain, so this is a little heat button right here. So this right here is where you could get it post colors, which is going to go after when you add these, or pre colors, which is before right here. And this really helps kind of bring out the sound a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I'll show you guys a little preview of like what it sounds in context of when you get kind of like a wobble kind of tremolo. Alright, so we're just gonna build the beat real quick then. I'm gonna go with the drum machine. I really liked how that sounded, so alright. So you get a little notion how it sounds. Let's go back to this. And what I like to do with APC4 is just set up all the clips in the session view and kind of perform with it, and you can really see how expressive it is with using the macros with MNTRA. It just makes it very simple and very intuitive, and gets you to really get it in a flow state and not get stuck and tweaking knobs all the time. So let's kind of clean this up a bit. Let's open up. And then I'll move that over here. Let's actually move this to the beginning. Stretch it out. That's going to be our main theme. And then we add these here as a build up. Cut that out there. Then we get the drop right here. So we use this as a layer for the bass to build up. Get the EQs, kind of bring the volumes down. Then you can hear it from the top. So for sound designing, right, we're going to do a little copy of this I can show you from scratch. I can use all the different effects and whatnot. We're going to mute this. Bring this bad boy up here. And then we're going to take just the modular long, we'll go with the long, that's the one I was using. Right, get that loaded up. And then you can just hear from the way it sounds at the beginning. Here, what's really dope is you could change the octaves of the notes. So keep it low here, right? Because we like to get bass. So from the sequence, go to the sampler actually line. Come over here, and then this is where I was talking about the heat. So you want to add a little bit of volume to it. I like putting it post color. Give it a little saturation, get some gain in there. And then we'll be able to hear it. We'll just solo the track. Let's go back to the marker. Okay, and then we could hear it in perspective. We did pre-color. like to have it tempo synced. So a quick note, when you're adding stacks on your sampler here, when you press that link button there, it applies it to all the samples with what you're doing with the ADSR, which stands for attack, decay, sustain, release. Nice little acronym to remember as a producer. And a nice little wobble there. Distortion, as I mentioned before, is one of my favorites that they have here. Alright, now we got a nice little tone. So let's put in context with the beat so you can see a difference here. Yeah, very, very intuitive stuff. Probably one of my favorite instruments that I've gotten so far. And that's just a quick look of how the sampler works. Yeah, just keep adding things. A lot of experimentation. Excited for it to release. You get the shaper. That should be fun. You get a little bit more precise and clinical with cleaning up any transients coming in through the sound and whatnot. But yep, this is a little portion of get to see how I navigate this instrument, and yeah, I'll be showcasing some beats that I made with this as well prior when I first started using it, and I'll show you guys this in another segment. I did some remixes, just getting into the Latin groove, and hopefully we could showcase the vocals. I don't know if there's probably copyright issues, but yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so we're continuing with the beat, right? Gonna add some effects to kind of give some layers, to kind of give it the air. As I was talking about, one of other mantras is instruments, the ultrasonic death whistle, the Almas effects kind of has a similar taste to it. So I'm gonna add some atmospheric kind of sound. Let me hide this real quick. And now we're just gonna go along here and just record a long droning sound. So that, just fix it up, do a little quantizing real quick, bring up the values. Alright, and then I'm just gonna adjust these drums real quick. They're a little off. Bring that back here, bam, bam, and take this over here to that spot right there. Okay, so now we got some of the atmosphere coming in, right? What I like to do is to kind of build some tension in the song. So we're gonna copy this over and then bring it up an octave, and then just bring it up like that so now you can hear it. See, it has a little bit more depth to the tune. Also, some expressiveness to it. Record some automation so you guys could hear the cool manipulations that you could do with this. Turn off the record there, and then record the automation. Cooking with that, right? So we're gonna add another effect. So I was rummaging through the stuff here. Just gonna duplicate this channel. Okay, bam. So let's go back to the effects over here. And then we're going to go to the grit. The grit one was kind of interesting. Has some kind of nice tones. Let's go activate this one here. And delete this. Delete that. And then it's kind of just... Isn't nice little drop down kind of like effect. And you could see it with the performing with the nice little growl. Alright, put a little reverb to it too. So what we're going to do with this one, we're just going to add it right before the sections, like around here, so it kind of gives another transitional part. Kind of helps build the flow for the tune. Guess we could start from here. And then let's start right there and start recording. Let's give it a look-see. Bam. Gonna move it over to the 8. Gonna drag it here a bit. Let's take a listen to it and see how it sounds by itself. Okay, bring up the volume a bit. And ooh, that's a good tone. Alright. So now I'm just gonna duplicate it over. So we're gonna do gonna copy over a couple pieces. Actually, let's reverse that there. Have that there, and then have this as transitional parts over 8 bars, and then bring them out a little bit. Kind of just duplicate that. Okay, now we want to isolate this sound, take it off during the bass parts, and then add it as like a right there, and then we can have it on that outro too. I did change it up a bit from what I was doing with the bass, so I kind of alternated between them, so you could hear a difference in them. But now let's hear how it sounds all together. I guess we'll take it from this. Going. Just kind of find it over here. Change an octave on it. And see how it sounds. Let's hear it from there. It's a little bit deeper. Alright, let's see. Give it a pitch down, change it up. There's the Jaguar. Alright, I like how that one sounds better. Okay, so we're going to take those and get that for the drop. So we can have an alternating one. So we're going to do Command C, place that one here, and then change this one here. And put it on this one and this one. Cool. Alright, now we got ourselves a nice little beat. It's gonna hear from the top. that, we're gonna give it a little oomph because it's missing it. So we're gonna go back and go to that. The heat. Add a little bit more gain. Alright, and then let's check it out. See if it gives it what we want. Saturation, we like saturation. There we go. Now we could hear it. So we got the effects in, let's group them. Save some lines here for that. And then gonna rename it effects. And then wanna have the drums together too. Cool. And then let's get another instance of El Jaguar. Just drag it in. And let's get a little bit percussive groove. You know, dubstep always has syncopated sounds. They do have a innate 808 kit that is pretty nice for those that know sound system culture and whatnot. The 808 is very prominent in that style of music, especially with heavy bass. Go to the elements, and then where was this? In Atelier, I believe. It's in the combos. The combos are pretty interesting. Alright, so this one's pretty neat because it has you can play with the whole keyboard, so it's pretty much stacked. If you look at the sampler, you'll notice all the different components, how you can stack your instruments and then dedicate it to the range in the keyboard where you want them to play. So you get some percussive elements. So since we're gonna be melodic with it, we could give it a little change here. Do is from the previous MIDI notes, we could just use these and then kind of edit it from there and see what we get. And just find where those instruments are. So we are drop the MIDI notes that we have here, go down to C1. So you get those kicks now. It's layered with the 808. So now as a driving drum beat, what we could do is kind of chop it up, kind of get rhythmic with it. And for the longer notes, I like doing more variations. So we're going to do that, copy it over, get it there, kind of have almost a similar pattern from the first initial note, and then copy it over, but then mess around with it here. To kind of give it a groove. Alright, and then kind of do it as well over here. And bam, bam, bam. Actually, let's do it quicker. Let's yeah, right there, bam. Go over here, V, and then go up. Another hit there. Copy this one, put it over here. And then do that long one, but we're going to do the double hit at the end. So we got that. It's an element we want to introduce. Introduce it over here. And then copy to where the drop is. Bam. Okay, let's hear it in context. Ourselves a beat there, guys. Let's see what other sounds we can put. Let's name this one. It's 808 combo. We'll name it that, and then let's see what other kind of sounds I could get from it. Let's duplicate it. Let's check some other combos out that they got. Let's go with the Kali Iwega. Let's do the counter melody around here.
This is Kali.
And then let's start recording from there. I don't remember the notes. Fix those MIDI notes, quantizing it.
Just copy it over. Fix these notes here.
Alright, bring up the values. Now it's got a little EQing going on. Try to bring up that sound. This EQ here. And then kind of boost the highs a bit. Let's go back over here to the heat. Let's actually put it post. bridge of the song. Kind of clashes a bit. Kind of put these pieces here and have it like a transitional part. Kind of like building up the beat. In-depth look at what MNTRA is providing with El Jaguar. It's a really fun instrument to use. I really enjoyed all the sounds that it has. Definitely will be using it more often in my productions. There's so much possibilities to use it, especially in combinations with their other instruments. Would highly recommend you to check all of them out. Once again, my name is Brightwing, and thank you for joining me in this little kind of session of my process of creating beats and just using El Jaguar just by itself out the box. You could see all the possibilities that it's able to do. I'll be providing stems for this. If anyone's interested, you could do remixes and then could share it in the community. I will be providing patches as well along in the MNTRA community once this video is posted, but those I'll be releasing them in a little later date. Still kind of tweaking some of them, but I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, peace, and thanks again to MNTRA for sharing this product. It's a gorgeous thing that they have, and be sure to get it. It's an amazing tool, very intuitive, and yeah, once again, peace.